this is duntov. So today I'm at the old Tropicana site. It is Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. Alright, it's been a couple weeks since I've been out here. And last time I was here, I was on the Excalibur side. So today I'm on the Oyo side, and as you can see, there's a lot going on since I was here last. First thing I noticed is they got all this fencing going up right here. This is right along, you know, I'm on the Oyo parking deck. So right over here, we got this fencing going up, and then if we show inside, you know, could this be the footprint of the, you know, stadium? Yeah, remember the stadium's going to be on 9 acres out of the 36 acres here. So could this be, you know, the side it's going to be on right here? Or it is this side, but is this the footprint? If we look down, they're starting to excavate out some of the dirt over here. So just curious. I did see an interview with Mark Bedane, so he is in charge of the build for the stadium, just like he was for the Raiders Allegiant Stadium. And he did say, or I read that they did get a permit to start like working on some of the site already. I mean, they haven't had the official groundbreaking yet, but they did get a permit where they are allowed to start prepping the site, which this appears like that's what they're doing. Pretty interesting. A lot of stuff is going on here, more than I expected to see. Alright, so I'm gonna swing over though. So originally, you know, they're still cleaning up the concrete from the site, you know, so they're crushing it over here. We got the, you can see the pile got a lot smaller here. You can still see some of the rebar that they're pulling out of the concrete, but there's the concrete, and then they got the rock crushers. It looks like they got two systems going. You know, so you think about this, all right, where they're still crushing the rock. Let me zoom out again. So that end over there, that side, that would be like the northwest corner of the property. You know, that's going to be part of the resort that's going to go in. So you'll have Bally's is going to build like hotel, casino, tower. So that's going to be on that end. So this end closer to where I'm at, this is where they're going to have the stadium. So even if all that rock's not off site yet, they still could start, you know, with the stadium. But that pile's going pretty quick. You can see all the crushed. If we look in, so they got the two different lines here. Let's try to see how they're doing. I see the orange excavator, looks like it's filling up the, you know, the one crusher, and then they have the other one. It's like a double setup. If you look at this one here, so it crushes it, and then it falls into the second one here and crushes it, I guess, even finer. You know, and then that one dumps it on the conveyor to put it up into the piles. I don't know if any of you guys watch Gold Rush. This kind of reminds me of when they're sluicing and separating out the gold from all the stuff out there, but I don't know if they're finding much gold in this old ground here. You know, then they're moving most of this stuff out. You can see they do have the You can see the big dump trucks there. So they're loading a lot of that up and getting it out. And I was told that, you know, it's like for road base and, you know, for building like stuff like that. But then if we look at the, that would be the southwest corner over there by the old billboard. They're actually, this must be the dirt that they're pulling out from this area closest to me, but they're dumping a lot of it, you know, back on that corner again. So that looks like it's more dirt. You can see how it's the dirt and not the stuff they're crushing. So right now it's probably about 11:30. It's 11:26 a.m. So you can see how we got the excavator here stopped, and then even the one over here. So I don't know if they're on like a, might be lunch break, not sure. Or they could be waiting to fill some of these trucks. So the one article I read, there was an interview with Mark Bedane. You know, he said locally, people here know that this stadium will be built, but then it's saying there's still the doubters around the country and around the world that say it's not. And it's gonna be built. You know, they were even saying that before with the Raiders stadium. And just the teams, when they come here, it's just, you know, even if you don't like that team, it still gets a lot of people that are coming to see their team play. So it'll be a successful franchise. So yeah, and then the other news that they announced is they're gonna build a, it's pretty much the preview center when you go pick out season tickets, but they're calling it like some kind of experience. It's supposed to open, it's gonna be an athletics experience. It's gonna open in the Uncommons. So the Uncommons is a, it's up there by Durango Station. It's on Durango and 215. So the Uncommons is the, it's not really a shopping center. They got restaurants and stores and stuff in there. That's where they're gonna build it. It says it's gonna open the later part of this year. So that's where you'll be able to go in and see about all the A's. If it's like the Raiders one was, they had a lot of, you know, the memorabilia, the Lombardi trophies, and, you know, championship stuff, and then they take you where you could go in and actually get virtual reality of where your seats would be, and you would pick your season tickets. So that's going to be going in by the end of this year. You know, I'll swing by there. That's actually not far from where I live. So I'll keep an eye on that and see when it looks like they're getting that place going. I'm not sure which building. There's a few buildings in there, but I'll keep an eye on that and try to figure out, you know, what's going on with that. All right, so I've been seeing, we got a lot of these drill rigs here also. I'm not sure exactly what this is all about. So you can see that one there. Then there's a few more on the side where actually looks like there's just a lot going on. So I'm just looking. So I'm gonna swing over. This is where they used to have that big utility building. So this is on the side of Reno. So this is the like main entrance here. Alright, so you can see the dump truck coming in right there, but we got another drill rig here. So this one appears like they're setting something up. I don't think they're drilling anything there. It's very bright out here. I can't tell. I don't know. Maybe he's putting the bit, you know, the drill bit. I don't know how that works. But then if we look over here, we got a crane. And it looks like they might be putting together a bigger crane. So you can see this one here with the boom up, but then I'm thinking they're putting a crane together over here. I wasn't expecting all this when I came up here today, so me, I like all this stuff. Pretty exciting. It looks like, you know, they're really getting ready for this big time now, or it's already started. You know, when they have the groundbreaking ceremony, that's more just the ceremony, but you know, they're already getting everything in line and started. Alright, we can see they're moving this drill rig here, so if I'm not mistaken, on the original plans, that the last plans that I saw, this corner where they're working on this stuff, that is where they're supposed to have like a parking structure. They are going to have a small parking structure in the corner. I'm almost positive it's this corner here, and then, you know, then the baseball stadium will be pretty much in this footprint that they're working on right now. All right, then if we look, they got all this dirt dug out, but then if we look at the, I'm not sure what it is, we got this, it looks like a conic box, kinda. You can see it right there. I'm gonna try to zoom in, we'll see. I might not be able to read it on my viewfinder, but once it's downloaded, it says something Baker. That's as far as I could zoom in, but I can't read what it says on the bottom. It looks like it might say something pumps. So they got that thing there. There's just a lot of more equipment coming in. And then if we look at the very corner, like by where they're putting all that dirt, if you remember, they used to have the going, gone, as well as the Bally's trailers, like the construction trailers. Those are now moved. They're at least they're not here. So maybe going, gone is gone. All right, so back to where this fence area is. This is right by, you know, where I'm standing on the parking deck. So we can see it looks like they got like these you can see like the power. Well, assuming there's going to be some kind of power supply. They don't look like they're hooked up or anything yet. But then if I'm going to pan down here, we can see how they're actually running some kind of conduit under the ground here. And maybe they're getting ready to, you know, start hooking up so they could have their power for the work site. And then we can see that they have some construction trailers here. These might be the ones that were on the other side and they moved them here. And then they're actually working on, they're doing something on the wall. It looks like they're putting chain link fence all the way around this area as well. You can see right here, so that's the gate, the green, that's the gate over there to come in, and it looks like they're putting up more fencing, kind of to block off this whole area. But we still got the billboards there with the old remnant of the Tropicana. And if I pan on over here to the left, we can see some more of like this piping, the conduit looking piping. And then we got Mortenson, McCarthy. So they got some of their equipment coming in. And then I'm going to keep showing down. I'm holding the camera that's not on my tripod right now. We can see how they're putting like more fencing, or all the way down you can see that person standing there. And it looks like they're putting like some kind of construction fencing up. So this would be the side all the way down. That would be the southeast corner right by Reno, going that way. Alright, so you can see, alright, so they're digging out there, but now this, we can see this piece of equipment driving. You can see how low down it is over there also, so they're digging out like a big area. You know, before it was kind of like where they had the tunnel going from Tower 1 to Tower 2. You know, but now they're pulling all this dirt out again, and it should be something, you know, for the new stadium spot. So pretty interesting. Alright, I just moved all the way to the end here. I want to try to get a better view of what they're working on over here. Got that drill rig, and then we still have where they're, it sure appears like to me that it's a crane getting put together. You can see how much more of this dirt, you get a little better view. Now there is like this pipe looking thing sticking up over here. Not sure what that is. It looks like it could be some old remnant of the other tower. I won't know more until we download this, but sorry for the shake. I'm actually holding the camera in my hand, zoomed in this far. Or this could be, you know, something. They got these drill rigs. Maybe they're putting some kind of posts in the ground for some reason. If we show over here, you know, they're drilling something right now on the side of this hill. Alright, so there's a lot going on. Really surprised today to see all this. So if you aren't following my channel yet, please give me a subscribe at Raiders1967. Get updates on this build of the new Las Vegas Athletics baseball stadium. Official groundbreaking is supposed to be sometime in June, but they haven't announced that yet. But technically they already broke ground. They're prepping already. But give me a subscribe, and then if anything you like about the video, give me a thumbs up. It'd be greatly appreciated. So you'll be able to follow along on this build, as well as I'm also going out to the old Mirage site where they're transforming it into the new Hard Rock. So they're building a giant guitar tower out front, and then they're going to gut the whole building and, you know, rebrand the whole building to the Hard Rock Hotel. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I will talk with you guys next time.